Hello everybody and welcome to episode 20 of my Dark Elves Let's Play. So we are just bringing our armies back down and we are pressing up against the orcs now. Now we've got a little bit of movement to do. So we've got these two guys who are moving down into these armies. One is of darkness and the other is a shadow. Let's look what shadow gives me. So we've got smoke and mirrors, which gives oh, that is very nice. That's a buff, affecting all of my allies, giving them extra speed. A nice hex, a few nice hexes to drop my people. A nice wind spell, so causes massive magical damage. Small forward moving area of effect, strong against multiple units. A vortex spell, obviously you're always going to get them, and another very nice buff actually, so that's a very good buff. Oh, so this does actually show you what they do, so let's see. That's just a buff. I hadn't realised you could do that, so let's have a look at this spell. I hadn't realised you had this where you could see what they do. So this is a Law of Shadow spell, and so it's a very small spell, but it does a lot of damage, so that's a good one. So we'll see what how this one goes. Anyway, she is going to go down and join the other army. Let's make sure I've got them both joining a separate army here, actually. Okay, and we can level up here as well, so that's good. We are about to lose this little place down here, but I'm not so fussed about that. That was always going to be happening, let's be honest. So I'm happy to leave that place to burn. It's stuck in Marathi's territory, and stopping the chaos corruption there was never really going to happen. You know, with it on its own in the middle of Marathi's cities in that territory, so I'm not that fussed. It's annoying to lose because it is a bit of income, but I'm going to be taking other places to replace it. So Marathi has effectively taken that entire territory off me through this war. You know, it wasn't hurt, she didn't do it on purpose, but it's the way things go. So I've actually got away with that, having that little horde there at the moment, but I'm going to be very careful with that navy marching around, floating around there, because obviously they could hit me quite hard, but Black Arcs do get a very good buff. However, a Black Arc with nothing on it's not going to get that buff. And they are bringing up multiple other armies here, so I want to be careful. I'm going to take that for the time being, because I just don't want to be in it means I've got to worry. One less thing I need to be worrying about at the moment, so let's see. So this is a solid little war going on here, which I'm on the peripheries of, and I need to get involved in it. However, I've got a feeling that I'm gonna have to follow this war on into their territory, so into the High Elves territory, to be able to deal with it. Okay, obviously I'm getting raiding there. I knew that was going to happen. We are going to go and smash the next city here. It's another nice easy auto. Right, how's this place doing on public order? This place is good, so I can actually afford to 14, so I can actually afford to knock both of these over. And I'm going to start, while I'm going to keep some walls on them for the time being, I am going to start pushing up my economic buildings here as well, because I really want to keep pushing my economy. Always pushing your economy, guys. I can't say it enough. I know I say it regularly. I don't even think I said enough. You know, your economy being pushed is always beneficial. It's always going to help you, because it means that long run you can get more and more people out. Malekith has leveled up again, so we're nearly at this wind spell. Let's have a look, see if we can see what this wind spell does. Ah, this one doesn't go the same way, unlike these ones where it will actually show me the spell. So this is absorbs hit points from enemies. I do love that idea. Okay, anyway, so let's see.
Set the sails.
That's good. We'll start pulling back. I need to be careful with that guy because I'm going to get very overwhelmed. They still have 2 armies here. They've got 2 full armies here. We're nearly ready to start pushing with these 2 guys as well. I do actually want to recruit one other person here because I am going to be... in fact, let's sort that now.
What awaits me? Move, you maggots! Conquest lies
Let's
ahead.
give these guys their
Onwards!
Hydra, which means that we
I
are
have dark purpose.
up to 19. We're on 16 here. So, I want one more of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want one more archer. In fact, no, I want 2 spears. Because spears, basically I want something to deal with cav. In fact, that's one thing both these armies are lacking is lots of cav. So I do need to be a little careful there. However, they're just there to bolster the forces, so I've got big forces for when I do want to start pushing. This city is just scary at the moment because it's got a lot of armies there and it's defended, and the High Elves are just sitting in it. They are waiting. They're watching me waiting. We're sitting here watching each other across this plain, waiting for the first person to make a move. Unfortunately, they have the capability to go around me, which is the one thing which might force me to make a peace with the dwarfs, with the orcs. And that's it, they've moved, so I've got a chance here. I'm not going to do anything this turn. I'm going to run with my Black Arc. I'm going to wait a turn to let them move a bit more. If they spread out too much, I can jump. If I jump too early, this is the tricky bit. If I jump now, they will all just fold straight back into Hotek's column. And I can't get there in one turn. Whereas if I wait and I bide my time, they might, just might, spread out a bit. Now, obviously we have to see what Marathi is going to do, because she might well throw herself at them in a very dangerous way, you know, which might clear out a few of her armies and mean I can push again, but we'll see what happens up there. And as I said, at some point I'm going to have to start hitting Marathi. That's annoying because they're literally just out of range. Okay, so both these guys have leveled up. I've also got the buffs these guys at the moment. So what's her one do? This one that's just a nice simple bog standard direct damage spell. So we can extend the cast range with the next one. I assume this one is probably similar. Adds a frostbite effect as well with the next upgrade. Right. I am getting tempted just to get a piece with these guys for the time being, which will leave me with this, you know what?
The chopper is in my hand, so
where's the capital of here? I'm going to take the Frozen City, actually. So I'm actually going to re-change my attack, which is the capital of here. So I've got a nice, solid bastion into their territory. And then I'm going to sue for peace. There's nothing I really want from any of these. And that way I've got a nice bastion along the coast until I want to go and deal with these guys. And it will free me up to move Malekith down here.
Favored of the Witch King.
Right.
Master of cruelty. Druki.
The other thing I can do is I can't do it this turn. I could be a bit cheeky and I'm going to move forwards into ambush stance.
Watch and wait.
Because if I'm in ambush stance, I can potentially move myself, make myself look appetizing to them if they don't see where I am. You need to run. And you can start moving around here to offer more support. Okay, end turn. Now, at some point, this is a tricky thing, because while I want to take Malekith's, Marathi's lands, confederating with her will cause me a whole host of issues because of the chaos corruption in her territory. Will cause a lot of issues, because when I take over, I don't get the buffs she gets from that chaos corruption, so I will start really so I will potentially have issues maintaining the people. Oh, why don't they take Venom Glade? And I think they've done it. I think they've left themselves too exposed there. I think I can hit that army now. It can run away still, but it's in a position where I can hit it and push it back into that city now. And I think they've moved their other armies too far away now. What do you want, Marathi? I tell you what, I'll do it if you confederate with me. Oh. Oh, that is tempting. That is very tempting. However, if I confederate with her, I will gain a whole host of chaos, corruption related problems, but I will also potentially massively boost my income. I will also be the undisputed controller of Nagarond. It's just how I'm going to deal with all that chaos corruption. Now let's check, because I do believe she might have a building which stops the negative effects from chaos corruption in my territory, in her capital. So let's have a look. That was always going to happen. I'm not fussed. They will just destroy that, and they will probably just disband now. Yes, so that minus 90 due to lack of corruption. Right.
Your time with me is precious, so make known your request.
Oh my god, have I just successfully... So, I now have confederated with the Cult of Pleasure. So I am now huge. I now don't get, that's 90% reduction in the penalty due to corruption, plus a 100% from income from all buildings of that province. That generates 1,000 income a turn and gets 40 growth. So that is a powerful old building. However, there are other things I need here. And we still have Marathi. Let's look how they've... So they've not gone down the routes I'd have gone down. But I can deal. I can deal with that, because I do have up to 40. So I've still got a fair bit of time to clear on that. However, we are now... Income-wise, we are struggling. I'm going to throw away quite a few of these guys. That is an immense force. It's a little over the top, however.
Awaiting command. Favored of the Witch King.
Okay, they are loyal, so that's good. I'll keep them. I have a black arc somewhere. She definitely had a black arc somewhere as well. I want a non-aggression pact as well if we're doing that. No, I'm gonna offer them a peace. I will try and pull that peace off. Oh, they were willing to accept peace before. Why are you suddenly not willing to accept the peace treaty? Okay.
I am the blood of Jin. Not one step.
So that's shored us up, certainly. These guys don't particularly like me, but
of anguish This.
Let's try and get a non-aggression pact with them, simply so that I can, basically because I want to get a trade agreement with them long run.
I will.
That means I don't have to worry on this coast so much. Marathi, I think once I take her over, she stops spreading corruption, actually. That is a... So you don't need that many Hydras in your army.
Corruption of the vilest sort.
So that has fixed our income. Obviously, they do have somewhere here. Why? Some of these setups I'm a little confused by. This place needs walls. Everywhere needs walls. Marathi can start double timing it over that way, actually. Well, her loyalty is low. They're good, they're happy. This is really good because I'm not, though some of them are losing, but the corruption isn't giving me too much. Why did they take these places? These places were never going to be kept. Wow. So we can knock all the construction buildings over here, and we'll start throwing out happiness buildings and walls.
Say what you gotta say before I cleave it at.
Let's take some gold off you.
Right.
Okay, and now we can also start moving Malekith back down. I've got enough territory to be dealing with now. I want to consolidate what I've currently got. You can double time it round here, and you are going to be joined by an army from here. And we are going to start pushing towards the monoliths. You can hit this army.
Go, kill!
I'm not sure I agree with that estimate. I don't agree with that estimate so much. I am about to try and pull you apart. Now, obviously, the reason Marathi that confederated with me there was, as you saw a couple of turns ago, she took a huge smash to her armies. So actually, she's lost a lot of power of her power base there. So she's in a very difficult position. So by confederating, she'll actually potentially, she's obviously gaining a lot of power from me for her nation, towards her nation, to help save her people, I guess. I don't know how the AI, obviously the AI doesn't justify it, it's just got a number generator which works it out, but, in that situation, she accepted because she was losing. She felt she was losing without it. If she'd stayed strong, she wouldn't have accepted it. So actually, I can thank the High Elves and thank Tyrion here for that. I need to be careful of Tyrion because he is a very good melee fighter. However, the really, the tricky thing is how they've leveled up their buildings, and I then sued the peace with everybody around her because that's just going to give me a little bit of breathing space to get myself sorted again. I don't really want to be at war with the entirety of the map in one go. This is going to be a pain because they're just going to all hide up here behind here. Right, so we're going to go for a fairly standard formation with our spears on the edges.
Dark Elves, the merciless host.
I don't have enough archers here. My monstrous unit can stay in the back, in the middle. Sorceress can go there, and she can go there, and these guys can sit here. We're going to move up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my bolt thrower to try and force them out. That'll do for an initial move. Now this guy is very good. He doesn't have much armour, so you do need to be careful. However, they don't have too many archers. He's he's got a lot of weapon strength there, so that's good. He's got quite a big HP pool, and he's also got this breath, which is it's scary. It's very good. It can't use if he's engaged with melee though, so you want to try and get that off before you use it. We do have Dark Conduit at the moment as well to use, so that's something which is useful for us. Okay, so let's keep moving. We can see their eagle hiding in the trees up there. We're going to keep repositioning ourselves. In fact, I'm going to move you nicely over to the side here, because what I can do him is once we're engaged along our front line, I can move him to the side, and then he can use his breath down their line, which it's magic missiles effectively, but it's a great big fiery explosion. So you know, it will go through them, and it will cause a lot of morale issues as well. Let's get this guy up in position. Let's move you to here.
Carnage awaits. Pushing forward.
Okay, they are all just trying to stay hidden from me. I'm going to be careful moving into here because I don't want to get them caught. I don't want to get caught, basically.
Bolt throwers.
If I can get my bolt throwers in range, I can tease them out so that I'm in a good position to start attacking them. However, they've got a lot of spears, which are standard spears. However, Elven standard spears are still quite good fighters, so I do want to be careful.
Onwards to murder.
I'm going to put you right in my middle.
Eager for battle. Onward. Battle ready. On to slaughter. Dark shards. Without question.
Slowly edge up. I do kind of wish you had an option of making them move as a formation, and that's it. I'm starting to see their units now.
We are ready.
Let's re-angle that front line.
Going. Advancing.
Striking out. Death and carnage.
Battle ready. Murder awaits.
Am I in position where I can start hitting? I'm not quite in range yet, and that's the annoying thing here. I'm going to have to pull myself up into this little bit of woodland.
Dark Elves.
I move. Dreadlord. It will be.
But actually, that means that I'm going to get some benefits defending from their archers when I... See, they have bolt throwers as well, so we probably might end up with a bit of a bolt thrower off here. Although hopefully I can force them to move into me rather than me being forced to move into them. There's nothing wrong if I slowly move forward. You can see my guys are still fresh. We're not running our armies, and running armies, you never want to run your armies, guys. Because if you run your armies, you will take a lot more damage. You know, we only have one spell at the moment here, so something I do want to be aware of. This should get us to range. I'm just double timing it for a little bit, guys, because I'm getting a bit bored of this wandering around. Now they are moving.
Dark shards. Attack.
Let's start hitting them. Unfortunately, I am going to have to start moving forwards then now. So let's get my line moving. They can double time it up there.
On the march.
Dread spears. To destruction. Following orders. Attack.
Now we can start hammering that. Now these guys, same as their bolt throwers actually, they do quite a lot of damage when they hit. Why are these guys very tired? So you see, that hit was quite an effective hit, and we are now forcing them forwards as well. Now we're going to hold our line here.
The merciless host. Moving out. Eager for
We will do a little bit of counter charge when we get there. This guy's in a nice position now. I'm going to move him into range to start hitting them.
Sister of the Dark Hunt. Witch Elves.
And we can counter charge. Our archer's getting involved nicely now. Get a lot onto Tyrion. Let's move you right up around the back. And we can pop a little explosion here, which should send a lot of their guys flying. Let's get my mage up a bit closer. Let's slam a wind spell along this flank here, this line here. And they are beginning to break our units here, so I want my archers to keep hitting them. And this is where they do really well. Right, let's get a fire spell in here. We're potentially going to hit our own unit here, actually. Let's move you. And we'll hit you guys with a fire spell. There you go. It's a nice hit there.
Setting forth.
Let's hammer these guys again. You. Oh, God, no. That was a mess up. Let's, okay, get into melee now. Now this is where I get a bit tricky, because chasing down their archers is going to be fun. In fact, let's start hitting their archers with my archers.
merciless warriors. At once, without question.
And our prowess has just procced. What's this? Doesn't really help me in this battle, but we'll do it. Alright, let's pull you up behind so you can whack them with a fire spell again. We do have another wind spell ready here. Let's slam that through their archers. See, this is where things do get tricky, because obviously I'm let's hammer into from behind these guys, because this should do nicely. Let's watch this spell come in. I did hit some of my own guys as well, but we can charge back into the back of these guys. We're doing well. Tyrion is suffering there. We are smashing some of their archers now. That we forced their archers into combat. Let's get my guys hitting them as well normally, and we are beginning to break them now. So we're doing well. We're doing our job. Right, let's hammer across here. We are fighting. We've got a bitter fight going on in these woods. Well, I say bitter, it's not that bad, but we're doing well. We are breaking them, and let's keep the pressure on. Let's keep hitting Tyrion here. Let's just keep chasing here. You can charge up against that. And you guys can keep hitting into these woods. Let's pop up another dark conduit. We've shattered them. Let's hit those Loth and Seaguard there. And that's it. We have shattered them. Okay, so that was a nice battle. It wasn't an easy battle. You see there, even the simple elfin units there have a lot of defense, a lot of morale. They hold for so long. they've got far more leadership than my guys. Base leadership, we don't have that much, but they've got more base leadership, so they will stand a lot better. I do feel I could have done better there. I need to learn a bit better how to actually fight the High Elves as Dark Elves, because generally I rely on my archers quite a lot, as you guys have seen. But if I fall back and rely on my archers, the High Elves will win an archer fight every single time, because their archers are simply better. Anyway, guys, 500 than nearly 900. I'm happy with that victory, but it could have been better. We are going to be ending this one here, guys, because we have hit our 30 minutes. So I do hope you've enjoyed this, guys. We will be continuing continuing to push back the forces of Lothar over the next session or two, and once we've pushed them out of our territory, we will gather for the counter invasion, for the invasion of Lothar, to deal with their threat permanently, to take them out of the game as early and quickly as we can, which should lead to some fun fights, because certainly fighting around the Eagle Gates, if I have to, attacking any of those Eagle Gates is going to be a hard fight. I will try, and even if they're all easy victories, because I will try and, have multiple armies when I hit any of the Eagle Gates, I will try and make sure that I fight at least one of them, so you can just see what I'm up against fighting them. If you're ever fighting as a High Elf campaign, they are by far the best defences you've got. Obviously, because of any army which attacks them, you can hold them off. I've held off 3 armies of really high level Skaven coming at me in one go with just the garrison of one of the Eagle Gates or Phoenix Gates. I think they've all got a different name. I don't know what the collective term for them is, but no, so they are really good. We're going to take the slaves and the replenishment here, and we have a smashed Tyrion. And what's the garrison here like? Can we take it? We are going to start sieging here, and with that, guys, we will be ending. I'm probably going to have to pull back from the siege because they're going to be sending other stuff towards me. But anyway, guys, as always, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please feel free to pop any feedback you want in the comments. Just try and keep it constructive, please. Thank you very much for your time, guys.